Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to have you here. We are going to talk about how to manifest your soulmate, how to manifest an emotionally available partner who is ready to commit without going through another bad relationship. So my name is Nichole Carlson. I am an intimacy and relationship coach, and I help people manifest their soulmates. I am going to go ahead and make sure this is working. Okay, that is working. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Okay. So I just redid, that's a problem. Stop sharing. Let's try that again. That was a little weird. Share. I just redid this whole thing. Okay, let's see if that stops blinking. I think that's going to stop blinking. Okay, we're good. We are good. So when you jump on, say hi. Let me know that you can hear me and see me. I'm going to turn on the lights so I'm not completely in the dark here. Let me know, where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you living right now? So we are going to talk about how to manifest your soulmate. So this is for you if you are single and you are looking for a soulmate, or it could be for you if you're in a relationship and it's just not working out, because both of those things can apply to this. So for the most part, this is for women seeking men. So I'm kind of talking about women seeking men, but this can apply to men seeking women or whatever it is. So we are inclusive. I want to say something right now. Most men and women are emotionally available and they absolutely want to commit, right? So how do we get someone to commit? How do we manifest our soulmate? How do we get that person who's emotionally available, ready to commit? And I want to say that it all starts with you. Okay. So let's get started. Let me know that you can see me and hear me. I think you can, but I'm not sure. Okay. So today I'm going to teach you how to manifest your soulmate. And once you know how to manifest your soulmate, you'll actually know how to keep manifesting what you want in your relationship and keep it vibrant and healthy. Because I know one of the big concerns is, I don't want to get married because I don't want to get divorced, right? So for those of you who just popped on, say hi, let me know where you're from. And as you have questions, ask your questions in the chat box so that I can answer those, and so that you guys can get the most out of this training. Also, if you go to, there should be a file that's shared in the chat. Hopefully you guys can see that and you can download that and then take notes. If not, a pen and paper will work too. You're going to want to take notes. So this is exactly what I did to manifest my future husband. And it's also what I teach my clients to attract love and even to turn their marriages around. And if you stay with me till the very end, I have a very special gift for you, but that's only if you stay with me till the end. You guys are so quiet. Say hi. Let me know where you're from. And let me know, why are you here? Let me know in the comments why you decided to be on this training today, because there's so many things that you could be doing right now. And let's make sure you are in the right place. So this is for you if you are so done attracting emotionally unavailable partners who are not ready to commit. Hi, I am joining from North Toronto, Canada. Krista, it's so good to have you. Awesome, Canada. Woo! I am in Austin, Texas, so that's like completely opposite. So this is for you if you're done wasting your time and energy on dating techniques or relationship advice that just doesn't work. So annoying, right? This is for you if you're ready to manifest your soulmate and learn what it takes to create a long-lasting soulmate relationship. And this is not for you if you want to stay on the dating sites and keep playing the dating game. This is also not for you if you are looking for a quick fix or you want to validate that you are on the right track, right? What we're going to do here is I am going to give you real answers. So, has anyone ever seen Project X? I literally just watched this like a week ago, right? Well, it's based on a true story about these three guys who have this wild and crazy party and basically burn down their neighborhood. And the movie starts out with these warning signs about do not try this at home. Well, this is my do not try this at home message to you, because what I'm about to teach you is it's not a complete solution. Like, there's more to it. And I can only teach you so much in an hour. And you guys know that. You guys have been on countless webinars, countless trainings. You've downloaded all the PDFs. And if you're into self-development or personal development, you've gone down the rabbit hole. You can only get so far. So you have to keep going, right? You can't just apply this and think that you're going to get, yes, you can get amazing results from just what I'm teaching, but it's not enough. It's not enough to carry you the distance. And you're going to understand why as I go through this training. So what I'm about to teach you is not a complete solution. I've seen many people take the general principles of what I teach and not be able to apply them in their lives or in their relationships. And they end up in another bad relationship or on the brink of divorce, right? So do not try this on your own. Make sure that you're getting support, whether it's me, whether it's someone else. I want to make sure you're getting the right next steps. Okay. So no one has seen that. No one's seen that movie. You guys are probably going to put that on your list next. Hi, Shannon from New York. Divorced for 6 years after a 20-year relationship, ready to find my soul-aligned partner and start a family. Oh, I love it. I love it. Shannon, don't worry. I manifested my future husband at 42. So I know about the whole 20 years of going through a lot of relationships that were not the right fit for me. And so this can definitely help. Okay. My name is Nichole Carlson, and I help people manifest their soulmates and radically transform their marriages, businesses, and lives. Clients come to me who are struggling in their intimate relationships or on the brink of divorce and are tired of being alone and want to manifest their soulmates. So it sounds like everyone is in the right place. Okay. So right now I'm living my dream. I just manifested my future husband in 2019. I have a business that I love. I coach. I have a business that I love. I talk about what I love in my business. I help people with the holistic, their lives holistically. So not just their not just manifesting their soulmates, but also in their businesses and all of that. I travel 2 to 3 times a year. Well, I did before COVID. And in my spare time, I do bodybuilding competitions. That's my hobby. The reason I'm telling you all this is because I manifested all of this by flipping the switch in these 4 shifts that I'm about to go into with you. But it wasn't always like this. It wasn't always this way. So let's backtrack just a little bit. Well, actually a lot. Because I felt alone all my life and frustrated because the harder I tried in my relationships, the more men pulled away from me. And in 2001, it was one of the lowest points of my life. My parents had just split up after 24 years of a marriage. And I was about to marry a man that cheated on me. And deep down, I knew he could not give me everything I needed. So I stopped believing in marriage, but I was so desperate to make this work. And I felt trapped between my commitment to get married and the fact that he was pulling away. So I know that you guys have probably been here. If you've had a relationship in the past, you've probably felt this way, right? Frustrated that it's not working. So I felt married and alone. And even though I knew he was not emotionally available, I still got married. And on the outside, I had this perfect life. But I was miserable because I felt alone and I felt neglected and I felt abandoned. And he was consumed by his work. And I slept alone most nights. So what changed? So one day I got a call, and it was from my mom, who was 47 and she had cancer. And she never made it to her 48th birthday. And as hard as that was for me, it was a wake-up call for me that I couldn't keep living my life this way. And I got a divorce. I sold my house. I quit my job one day. I sold my car an hour later. And on the next day, I was on a one-way ticket to Spain. And that was over 10 years ago. And I traveled for years. And I decided to rebuild my life. And I followed my heart in my life and in my career. And through years of rebuilding, this is how I learned how to manifest what I wanted in my life. So by flipping the switch. Right? So while my life was getting in order, my business, I started my business, just everything was kind of falling in line. I kept struggling with the same relationship problems. And in 2017, yes, like these numbers keep moving up. As you get older, there's like more years that you've been alive. And you're like, wait, what year was that? So in 2017, I broke up with my now ex-boyfriend, and something drastic changed. I finally learned how to change my energy and fix my relationship problems, and I manifested my soulmate who pursues me relentlessly. Let me see. Where's my mouse? I'm trying to figure out how to switch. Okay. I'm like, how do I get to the next slide? Okay. So after struggling for almost 20 years, like some of you on here, I'm sure, I manifested my future husband. Why is this a big deal? Because we were friends for 3 years. I was in love with him for a year, and I knew that he loved me. Do any of you, side note, do any of you happen to know who you think your soulmate is? Put a 1 in the comments if you think you know who your soulmate is. If you're like, that is the person for me, because a lot of people come to me because I manifested a specific person. So I was in love with him, and he kept saying that he wasn't ready for a relationship. But the thing of it is, I loved him and I knew that he loved me. Okay, Shannon, yes. But we couldn't be together because there was an energetic block between us. And this block was created by abandonment issues, my fear. I was feeling super needy. I felt like I was never enough. I felt insecure. And then when I shifted my energy, I literally wrote 1 line in my journal. I visualized for 3 days about him proposing and our wedding. And on the 4th day, he showed up to my place, and he was telling me that he wanted to marry me and that wherever I go, he was coming with me. And I just about fell over. Because I could not believe that turnaround, because I shifted. I did nothing, like I didn't text him. I just meditated, and it shifted his energy. So today I'm going to talk about the 4 keys that had to happen for him to go from I'm not ready for a relationship to I want to marry you during that 1.5 years after my breakup in 2017. So what would it feel like to feel so loved, safe, and secure with your lover that you never question it? Right? What would it feel like to feel like they support you in everything you are doing? What would it feel like to feel like there's a deep connection and trust and respect between you two? And what would it feel like to feel like they desire to be with you? And what would it feel like to feel passion and chemistry that you are craving? So we get into this place where we feel like a failure in our relationships. We just want to be in a relationship that works. We're unhappy. We're tired of being on the fence. We don't know what to do. We're barely holding it together. And we are this happy person living in this unhappy life. and we're scared of trusting again. Is anyone else here scared of trusting again? Just put a 2 in the comments if you are scared of trusting again, right? Oh, we're getting triggered all the time, and we want to believe in love, but we don't know what we need to do to make that happen. And we're ready to call in our soulmate now, right? 2. Shannon's with me. Okay, awesome. Yes. So today you're going to learn the shifts that I made to go from 20 years of being neglected in my relationships to attracting my future husband and being pursued. You're going to learn why nothing has worked for you in the past and how to use these shifts to attract the love you desire, even if you feel like you've been stuck in the same pattern for years. And you're going to learn how you can apply these same shifts to create the relationship you want. You're also going to learn what's really stopping you from having the love and intimacy you desire and how to change that, even if you are in a relationship right now. And you're going to learn, obviously, how to manifest your soulmate. Okay, so as I go down the list, write in the comments what you've experienced. So let me ask you, does this sound like you? Do you feel like you have abandonment issues? Fear? Neediness? Do you feel like you're never enough? Do you wonder if this is what love is supposed to feel like? Do you feel depleted, abandoned? Are you frustrated saying things like, I don't ask for that much, right? This is what I was feeling. Okay. So all these things that I just talked about, they're not the problem, right? They're not the problem. They are symptoms of the problem. So if you're feeling the way, okay, Shannon, all of the above, yes. If you're feeling that way, I want you to know that those are not the problem. Your neediness, your abandonment issues, like those are not the problem. Those are symptoms of the problem. Okay. You know how you go to the doctor when you tell them where it hurts and then they tell you like what is actually wrong with you, hopefully, right? They diagnose you, right? So a lot of times we're covering up the symptoms, like we're learning dating techniques. That's covering up a symptom, right? So what we want to do is we want to fix the problem. So as long as you're trying to fix the symptoms, you're never going to fix the problem. But once you fix the problem, all of these symptoms on this last page, let me see if I can get to it. Nope. On this, all of these symptoms will go away. So let's talk about what the real problem is, which you just saw. Okay, the real problem is that you need to learn to flip the switch. And this is what I call the ultimate manifesting method. There are 4 shifts that I'm going to talk about today that you need to make so you can manifest the relationship you've been wanting for so long. Krista, in the past, I have felt like I'm not good enough, but I've put a lot of energy into changing that. That is amazing. Yes, that is amazing. Yes, that's awesome. So a lot of you are already on a personal development journey. So I want you to know that this is the only thing that has worked for me. And this is the only thing that has worked for my clients. And no one out there is teaching this stuff because I created the system myself. It took me 20 years to figure this out. But my clients, with the tools that I give them, are able to fix their relationship and manifest their soulmates. Okay. So excited. Okay, what's the next slide? This is the ultimate manifesting method solution that I created when the dating rules and relationship advice did not work for me. This allowed me to ditch the dating games and generational relationship patterns for good. So I could finally manifest the love of my life and have a healthy, thriving relationship. Okay, but first I need to tell you something, because there were 3 big mistakes that I was making that were keeping me stuck. And I want to tell you about them because maybe, just maybe, you're making them too, right? Who wants to know the mistakes? Who is ready to know what mistakes I was making? Because this is what I'm about to say is a little controversial. Okay. And it goes against some of the things that people teach out there. Okay. So the first mistake that I was making is that I thought the problem was him. So no matter what relationship that I was in, I always got to a point where I thought the problem was him. So have you ever thought this relationship isn't working? Or if he or she would just da-da-da. Or why does this keep happening to me? Right? Or if you're single, are you thinking it's the dating pool, it's the dating app, it's men, it's women, or dating just isn't what it used to be, right? So this is thinking that the problem is them, the problem is him, right? So this way of thinking is keeping you stuck. And let me tell you why. Because your relationship, all of your relationships actually are a reflection of your relationship with yourself. Okay? Does this make sense? Which means that a new relationship equals the same problem. So we think that if we get out of this relationship, we're going to be able to fix the problem because we're thinking it's this other person, but we end up in the same relationship with a different person. Yes. Okay. Krista is tracking. Okay. Awesome. So no matter what, I love you guys. First of all, I love you guys because you guys I can tell you're personal development people and you're really going to understand what I'm saying. So you guys are going to get a lot out of this. So no matter what, if you get out of this relationship, you will get into another relationship and have the same problems, right? And if you've experienced that before, put a 3 in the comments, because I got out of my marriage and then got into another relationship and had the same problem, and then another relationship and had the same problem. And I was like, what the F? Okay. So, and if you're blaming him or men or women or the dating pool, then that takes away your personal power to change your situation. 3, yes. Okay. That takes away your personal power to change the situation. And nothing is ever going to change for you. Right? So I want you to know that you have the power. Wait, let me see what the next slide is. You have the power to change your situation. Right? So our new belief, we need a new belief here. Our new belief is when I change my relationships and the relationships I attract. So if you're taking notes, you're going to want to write this down. When I change my relationships and the relationships I attract. So we actually need to flip the old belief, and this is the new belief, okay? Okay, so mistake number 2. Oh gosh, I'm so ready for this. You guys, let me know if this is you, if you're doing this mistake, okay? So the mistake I was making was I was a strong, independent woman. Okay, so stay with me, right? Stay with me, because we are teaching each other, our kids, we're passing this down that we need to be a strong, independent woman. And who here considers themselves to be strong and independent? Put the word strong in the comments. Because this was really one of my big mistakes. And I'm going to tell you why. So we've been told that it's healthy to be strong and independent and to not need a man, right? You guys have heard that, I'm sure. Strong. Yes. Okay. Right. But it is true that it is healthy to be strong and be able to take care of yourself. Yes, please do that. and being okay with being alone. But there's a fine line between being healthy and that mindset coming from pain and past trauma. There is a fine line between being healthy and having that mindset come from pain and past trauma. So most of the time, the healthy, single, independent woman mentality is a sign of us being unhealed. Is anyone getting light bulbs right now? Right? So as women, we move to our masculine energy, and that pushes relationships away. Right? When we move to our masculine energy, and the same for men, right? If they move into their feminine energy, that's going to push women away, right? And we have both. I'm not saying like you have to be all feminine, but you have to know when to switch it on and all of that, okay? So when we move to our masculine energy, that pushes away relationships. So we need to flip it. So our new belief is being in our feminine comes from a deep sense of trust, which we can't do unless we are healed, right? So if you do the healing work, right, then you're going to be able to be more feminine, open, vulnerable, and that will allow you to attract your soulmate, right? Yeah. You guys I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Okay. So, actually, this is the new belief. This is a new belief. Okay. It is safe to be in my feminine and need a man. It is safe to be in my feminine and need a man. Now, I don't need a man, but I need a man, right? There's a healthy, like if you're saying I don't need a man, you probably have some unhealed trauma. I don't need a man, but I need a man, right? I'm at that point where it's healthy, right? So, okay. So how many times, okay, number three, we're on number 3. How many times have we been told that choosing our partner is the most important decision that we will ever make, right? Picking the perfect partner was my third mistake. So my third mistake was believing that if I could pick the right partner, if I could pick the perfect partner, that would give me a lifelong, amazing relationship. And I'm going to tell you why, so stick with me, right? Why this was a mistake. It's absolutely important to pick a good person. But have you ever thought that you'd have a great relationship if you could just find Mr. or Mrs. Right? I think everybody on here is women, right? I know we've all thought that, and it's what we've been taught. So why is this a mistake, right? Let's see. It's not the belief that's a mistake, because it is true that you need to be smart about choosing the right person to be with, but it's the mindset behind the thought. When we come from the mindset that it's about picking the right partner, we are coming from this logical, fear-based mindset usually. There's no such thing as perfect. That's also true. That is also true. Thank you, Krista. So when we're thinking about picking the right person, right partner, we're coming from this logical, fear-based mindset, right? And this is a subconscious thing. So again, we may think it's a healthy thing to do, but we aren't addressing the unhealed part of us that it's coming from. So what happens is we get hurt. Then we pick safe partners and partners that would never cheat on us or that we feel like we can trust, which again is right, but not when it's coming from fear or being unhealed. Right? Is this making sense? So the danger is that anything you do that is fear-based will give you the exact problem you're trying to avoid, right? So if you're doing things to make money in your business and it's fear-based, you're going to go right into it, right? Yes. Okay, good. Krista's with me. Awesome. So I want to give you a little example here. How many of you have told yourself or know someone who has said, I never want to be like my mom or dad, right? And then you find yourself doing that exact thing that you never wanted to do, or you're just like your mom, which you said you would never be like, or you're just like your dad, or you're doing it in that way, right? So we always gravitate towards what we fear most or what we want to avoid, right? So let's recap. A fear-based decision will equal a broken relationship or divorce. So let's flip it. Our new belief is that being the right person will attract the right person. Okay, so now that we've covered all the mistakes, let's finally talk about the 4 shifts you need to be able to flip the switch and manifest your soulmate. Who is ready? Type in ready in the comments while I get a drink of water. And we will keep going. Okay, so the first shift that we need to make is we need to reprogram your relationship patterns. Ready? Okay, Shannon's ready. I'm pretty sure Krista's typing. Yes. There it is. Okay. So you need to reprogram your relationship patterns. You keep getting emotionally unavailable partners, not because the dating pool is bad, but because people don't know how to, and also not because people don't know how to date anymore, and not because your standards are too high, but you keep getting emotionally unavailable partners because you have a pattern. You have a relationship pattern, right? For me, my pattern started with my mom and maybe even my grandmother, though I haven't gotten her details on her relationships, right? So my mom had a pattern of being in a relationship with my dad who neglected her, right? And cheated on her. So this pattern followed me into my marriage and then followed me into my next 2 relationships. So the pattern is the problem. The pattern is the problem. This is the problem. It's not your partner. It's the pattern you are in. And even if you try really hard to consciously avoid this pattern, you will still recreate that pattern over and over again. So I did this after I left my ex-husband. I picked safe men who I loved, but they wouldn't cheat on me, but they still neglected me. So I still ended up neglected and feeling abandoned, right? So they would show up for me strong in the beginning, and then they ended up pulling away after about 6 months. And I still had the same problems of neglect and abandonment. So for you, it doesn't matter if you get out of the relationship you're in, you're always going to get what you've gotten or some version of what you've gotten, right? Until you change this pattern. Does anyone feel like they have a pattern that keeps following them? Type in pattern if you can see that pattern showing up. Okay, so let me tell you about Sydney. Sydney came to me right when her relationship was in crisis, and she didn't know if she should stay or go. She was devastated, and she thought there was no way to work things out with him. They were dating, but she also knew that this guy was her soulmate, right? They had been in a 3-year relationship. And she thought that the problem was things that were going on with him. But the real problem, I see my old pattern. Good. Yes. But the real problem was that this was a pattern for her that she picked up watching her parents. So this was a generational problem. She was just recreating this in all of her relationships. So we worked together to reprogram her relationship patterns and figure out what was truly right for her. And she knew she had worked through her relationship patterns, and she knew that her relationship was going to work. And she decided to stay with him And it wasn't a cheating issue. I just want, she's like, make sure they know it wasn't a cheating issue. So just so you know, it was not a cheating issue. So she decided to stay with him. And within a few months, they were engaged, and they should be getting, well, I don't know if they're getting married in a couple months because of COVID, but they're planning their wedding. We're just going to say that. So I also want to introduce you to Holly. Holly was in a pattern of a pattern with a non-committal man, right? She was in her 40s and she was tired of the game. She was in a relationship, in an uncommitted relationship when we first spoke. She had been dating this man, seeing, friends with this man for about 2 years, and he still wanted to be friends even though they were past that point, right? And she was ready. She was done. She was ready to give up. And she said, Nichole, this is it. If this doesn't work, I'm out. So we started working together and started reprogramming her relationship patterns. And it was as if he completely changed. He proposed to her from out of nowhere, but she was doing the work. And that's what made everything change for her. So let's talk about shift number 2. Shift number 2 is you have to heal from your past. You have to heal from your past. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I've done 7 years of healing work, or I've done tons of healing work. And while that may be true, you don't have to do that much healing work. You just need to pinpoint the exact healing work that you need to do. Right? You need to be able to pinpoint that exact healing work, because people still get into relationships and manifest their soulmates, even though they have more to heal. So it had been almost 20 years that my ex cheated on me while we were engaged. And my dad announced that he was leaving the family for another woman. And I was sitting there, like when 20 years ago, I was sitting there with a ring on my finger, and my beliefs about love and marriage were gone. Like I didn't believe anymore. And I was so mad. And I stopped talking to my dad for 6 years because the whole, leaving my mom. And I was angry. And eventually we talked again, and I thought I had done the healing work. I thought everything was okay. But after my ex left in 2017, I realized that I had more healing work to do. Not because I was mad, not because I was angry, because it was stopping me from love. So you can see, I worked on this stuff 15 years ago, right? I forgave my dad. We worked through it. We're good. But again, it popped up in 2017 because I was being blocked to manifesting my soulmate, right? So it doesn't matter if you're mad or not, you probably still need to have specific healing work that you need to do, right? So you may think time heals your pain, or you may think that you aren't upset anymore. But if you aren't manifesting your soulmate, it's probably because you need to go back and do some specific healing work. Okay? So I want to introduce you to Kyle. Kyle came to me a little over 2 years ago now. He had just gotten married. They were expecting, and his business was taking a nosedive, and there were a lot of trust issues in his relationship. He felt like he had made a mistake by marrying her, and he was trying to do the right thing for his new family. And over the course of 6 months, he stopped working out. He started eating badly. He started putting on weight. He lost focus in his business. So he had this holistic problem where it was stemming from his relationship, right? So we worked on healing his old wounds. We worked on breaking the relationship patterns, and we worked on changing his beliefs. And we used this time to build him up and help him figure out what he wanted. He got better, but his relationship got worse, and he kept hoping and staying for the potential of the relationship. I don't know if you guys have ever stayed for the potential of the relationship, but that's the worst. So finally, he had enough strength and confidence to walk away. And it was just as if he flipped the switch and he was done. I'm sure Shannon has experienced that if she's gotten a divorce or something like that. So he decided to get a divorce, and it changed his whole life, right? So he is currently changed. Like that was, wait. That was him before. And this is him now. He's training for his third bodybuilding competition. So everything is connected. It's a holistic thing, right? So, and of course, he's now in a new healthy relationship, and he's super happy, right? So I want to introduce you to Sandy. Sandy was in and out of relationships because she had so much fear about being neglected, abandoned, or left, and that created blocks in her relationships. And she finally met her soulmate, and she knew this was the one, and she desperately wanted it to be different for her because she didn't want to mess it up, right? So she came to me to make sure she was creating the relationship in the right way. So we worked together on healing from her past and her the things that happened in her childhood, and she no longer let her fears run her relationships. And now she is in a committed relationship with her soulmate, and they just got a house together. That happened over the last year and a half. So Sandy's come a long way. Okay, so shift number 3 that we need to make is you've got to change your beliefs, right? You've got to change your beliefs. And I'm talking about your subconscious beliefs, okay? The day I manifested my future husband, I had to change a really strong belief that I had held on to for almost 20 years, right? I wrote one line in my journal declaring that I wanted to marry this guy and visualized him proposing on the beach, which is not in Austin, right? There's no beach around. Visualized him proposing on the beach for 3 days. And on the 4th day, I went down to see him. I stopped by the mailbox, and so I'm in bodybuilding competitions, and I stopped by the mailbox, and I got this fashion jewelry $5 ring, and I went out to see him to the gym because we work out together, and I showed it to him, and he takes it out of the wrapping, and he goes down to one knee, and I'm like, oh my God, what? So, and then he comes over later saying that he wants to marry me, right? So, and that was not a real proposal. That didn't actually, like, has not proposed yet, but we're talking about getting married. But so my point is, I had a belief that was keeping me from manifesting him as my future husband, right? I had this belief that marriage doesn't last. I had this belief that I didn't want to get married because marriages don't last. I didn't believe in marriage, and I didn't even know that I didn't believe in marriage. It was a realization that I had this happened May 31st of 2019, right? I realized that I didn't believe in marriage. I decided to believe in marriage. And that's when all of this changed. So there are subconscious beliefs that you're not even aware of, that are keeping you from manifesting your soulmate, especially if you've had, been in a marriage, been in several relationships, or have generational patterns, right? So before I manifested my future husband, I was dead set against getting married because my belief was I didn't want to get divorced again. So I had to change my story and my belief in marriage so much that I not only allowed myself to want it, but I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was going to work. Like, most of us don't want to get into relationships because we don't see it working, right? So you have to see it working. So what happens is we consciously want something. Like, you all are here because you want to manifest your soulmates. But subconsciously, you're protecting yourself from that thing and you don't even know it, right? And it feels like an internal battle. So do you guys have this? Do you guys feel like, oh, you want a relationship, but you don't want a relationship? That internal battle? Put a 4 in the comments if you're feeling that. Because we're not actually aware of the beliefs that are blocking us. And that's why we're in the same cycles. Who just jumped on? Say hi. Let me know where you're from. Okay, so I want to introduce you to Sarah. Sarah came to me after a breakup and she thought, maybe my standards are too high. Maybe I'm too picky. Have you guys ever thought that maybe you need to lower your standards? Maybe you're too picky. She didn't believe that she could attract her soulmate. And we started working together and she flipped a switch and she realized that she could manifest her soulmate and she didn't have to lower her standards. And within months, she manifested her ex back and they were dating and making Christmas plans to meet the family. So, Maddie from SoCal. Awesome. I have family in Bakersfield. I don't know and I go to LA a lot. I don't know how far you are from there. So I want to introduce you to Kayla. Kayla had a few beliefs that needed to shift before she could manifest her soulmate. But the biggest one was that men took advantage of her and she had to give up too much of herself in the relationship to get what she wanted. And she was exhausted from these relationships, right? I'm sure you guys have all been there where you felt like you're doing all the work in the relationship. You feel a little bit taken advantage of, or you feel burnt out from giving, right? Because most of my clients they're big, they have big hearts and they're big givers. Corona, Riverside. Okay. I'm not familiar, but all right, cool. Nice. Okay. Maddie, you're going to have to go back and watch the replay because it was really good. It was really good. So she was exhausted from these relationships and we went through and shifted her beliefs on relationships and what she was worthy of. And that changed everything for her. She started attracting men and one of them was her soulmate. And he showed up for her, asking to meet her family and claiming her as his own. Okay. I also want to introduce you to Rachel. She had been on and off in a relationship with this certain man for 14 years. And she was tired of it. After we started working together, she was done with the back and forth, done with the uncertainty, and done with being alone. And she started working with me and changed her beliefs about what she wanted and what was possible for her and what kind of man this guy was. And within a month, this same non-committal guy showed up for her saying that that she was the one and that he wanted to spend his life with her within a month. Right? Okay. The fourth thing. So important. You guys, if you believe in manifesting, if you guys are really tuned into manifesting, type in manifest in the comments. I'm curious to know how in tune you are with manifesting. So shift number 4, you've got to connect with your soul, which means you need to follow your heart. Because you've got to manifest with your heart, which means you have to trust your heart and not your head. Love is a heart decision. And that's the only way you can manifest anything is from your heart. Manifest. I manifested my home earlier. Oh, I love it. Okay. So this guy for the last year, my future husband, Marco, his name is Marco. So this guy Marco, for the last year, I was in my head. The year before I manifested him, I was in my head. I was like, he loves me. I love him. We should be together. The logical masculine side of me, right? And if you have done anything like Googled dating advice, relationship advice, all that is like probably coming from your masculine, because that's not really going to solve your problem. So I was in my head and I was like, why is this not working? I know he loves me. So when I went to my heart and I visualized for 3 days, it shifted the energy inside of me, and it shifted the energy between us. So it's never going to work in your head, and people are trying to run their relationships from fear and from their head. And that actually repels the relationship that you want. Right? This is why we get into a lot of relationships and you have that fear and anxiety, like, is it going to work? Right? Have you ever gotten into a relationship and you just always had that fear and looking over your shoulder and constantly worried, like, is this going to work? That is fear, masculine energy, you working from your head. Oh, that's exactly where I am right now. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. This is all energetics, right? So how do you know if you're following your heart? If you're following your head, it feels like fear, feels like anxiety. What do I need to do? What do I text back? What dating site do I need to be on? I have to do this because this is how you make it work. And if you're following your heart or your soul, it feels like faith, truly knowing that this is going to work. So the question for you is, are you coming from fear or from faith? Right? Oh, am I on the right side? Oh, okay. I have 2 slide decks and I have to move both of them. Okay. So Nadia went from 4 years of being on the fence of divorce to reconnecting with her husband. She came to me on the verge of divorce. She had been talking to divorce lawyers on and off for about 4 years. Her marriage wasn't working. And we worked together to create a soul-led life, putting herself first, following her heart, and everything changed for her. She was able to fall deeply in love with herself, and her relationship with her husband radically changed. He showed up for her more loving and emotionally available than ever before, which is actually all these women's stories. She is completely happy and she's no longer seeking a divorce. They're happily married, right? I want to introduce you to Andy. When Andy first came to me, he was successful as a software engineer, but he had no drive, no motivation, no desire to do anything but keep his job. The problem was, after his breakup, his confidence was shattered. In fact, he had given up all hope of ever being in a relationship at all. And all he ever did was work or drink. And we worked together on creating a life that he loved, a soul-led life. And not only did he lose 65 pounds in 15 weeks, actually, but he also got a promotion at work and found his soulmate and asked her to marry him. So they're engaged. And I show the weight loss picture because I want you to know that this is a holistic solution. It is about manifesting your soulmate. It is about healing. It is about you loving yourself. But it impacts every area of your life. It impacts your relationship with food, right? So that's That's what happens with a lot of my clients. Okay, so here is the truth. Your soulmate won't make you happy, but connecting to your soul will make you happy and fulfilled, and that will attract your soulmate to you. This is the shortcut. It's not easy. It's not the shortcut, but this is the shortest way. This is the way that works, right? You guys all know that manifesting your soulmate will not make you happy, right? You know that there's something deeper. So if you want to remove the triggers, if you want to stop the self-sabotaging, if you want to feel loved and worthy and trust yourself and step into your feminine energy and attract your soulmate, you need to flip the switch. Okay. What are you not getting right now in your relationship or in your previous relationships, right? Love, trust, intimacy, passion. Put these in the comments, whatever is true for you. Or if it makes sense, put 1 through 5. 1, love, 1, trust, 2, whatever number. And how would your life be different if you could create that soulmate relationship? So I made a promise to you at the beginning of this, all of the above. Shannon, thank you, Shannon. At the beginning of this, I told you that I was going to tell you how to manifest your soulmate and an emotionally available partner who is ready to commit. And we went over the 3 mistakes. Was there 3? Yes. 3 mistakes. And we went over shift number 1, to reprogram your patterns. Number 2, heal your past. Number 3, change your beliefs. And number 4, connect to your soul. So what would your life look like if you were able to flip the switch and manifest your soulmate? What would it be like to be able to attract that kind of relationship that you want, to stop holding yourself back in your relationship and to create the relationship you truly desire? I mean, can you imagine? So let me ask you a question. We've had a great time here, right? Oh, wow. It's been an hour. It's been a really long time. We've had a great time here. But an hour is not that long. How would you like to talk to me directly? And we can talk about how to work together to further on this. Would that help you? What do you guys think? Okay. So, I want to talk about the people while you guys are typing in that in yes or no, or I want to talk about the people that actually get real results. What kind of people are they, and what helps them get results? So the people that get results from working with me, they have a certain mindset. They are empowered. They know that they are the creators of their world. They want it all. They're looking for their soulmate, but ultimately they are looking for a deep relationship with themselves so that they can be happy. They are action takers and they don't put things off, and they ask for help and guidance. So everything in your life has led you here. You have your parents and grandparents and generational trauma. You have your past history, your letdowns, society's beliefs, all of that. And now you have a choice. Because this is what I see. I see 2 different paths at this point, right? I see the first kind of person who is the kind that looks at the last 20 years or so, or maybe 10, and they know they are done doing it on their own. They know the problem is much bigger than just finding that right person or knowing how to Google your love language. And they're looking for a real solution so that they don't ever fall back into self-sabotaging relationship patterns. And they end up learning to have that self-love and changing their relationship to themselves. And they end up manifesting their soulmates. And the second type of person that I see is the person who they think they're close. They think that they are so close to manifesting that soulmate, and they think that they are close to finding that person, and maybe they even think that they know who it is. But here's what happens. They end up getting into that next relationship, and they still feel unworthy. They still feel triggered, and they still feel lonely and abandoned, and they get frustrated and end up sabotaging the relationship again. And they end up in the same relationship pattern their parents and society has laid out for them, causing them to break up again and get another divorce. We don't want that, right? So let me know let me know if you have any questions. And while you type your questions out, I want to invite you to book a call with me. And I want to find the button. Hang on, let me find the button. Okay. I'm going to put this in the chat. So hopefully you guys can see that, and hopefully the button works. So this is a chance for you to talk with me one-on-one. It's not a free coaching call. It's for people who are ready to solve their problem and manifest their soulmates, right? I've set aside some time in the next few days to speak with you one-on-one. And on that call, we're going to talk about where you are right now, what's been going on for you, and what it would look like to manifest your soulmate. So this is only for you if you are done doing this on your own, if you're exhausted from trying to make it work, and you want a real solution, right? So this is for you if you want to talk about possibly working together to solve this problem for you, because here's the thing. I don't want you to have to go through what I went through, right? I don't want you to spend 20 years trying to figure this out on your own. I know that this works. And this is the only thing that has worked for me. This is the only thing that has worked for my clients. So if this is speaking to you, if this really resonates with you, then go ahead and click that button and book a call with me now. I don't want you to be stuck. I know that a lot of you, from what I can tell in the comments, you're into personal development. You want to get to that next level. You're looking for that deeper solution, not the surface level, how to date, right? You want an actual solution, right? I know how painful it can be to go through relationship after relationship and feel let down and feel like it's you. We don't want that anymore. So no more worrying if this is going to work, no more struggling through and depleting yourself, no more feeling triggered and feeling abandoned and neglected in your relationships, actually manifesting your soulmate. Okay. And for all of you who are on, I would love it if you guys are in my Facebook group. I would love to see you there. If you guys are not in that, I'm going to send out an email actually, or you guys can DM me. I think you guys found me on Facebook. So just DM me if you need the link to the Facebook group. I would love to have you there because I put out trainings there and give you guys support as well. So it looks like nobody has any questions. I hope you guys got really good notes, and I will see you guys on the call. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. Have a great night. Love you guys very much. Mwah. Bye.